Would always say, no, don't worry about it. I've crashed 2 planes myself, or 3, I think, actually. And it's like, it's not.
You're watching a CBS special report right now where funeral services for Senator John McCain are set to begin in 1 hour. We will rejoin this coverage at that time. For now, though, I'm Josh Spreiter. We are tracking an alert day and the risk for more flooding here in south central Wisconsin, as well as several other developing stories from overnight. First, let's get started with meteorologist Chris Reese, who is tracking even more rain on the way this weekend. Not welcoming news there, Chris.
Absolutely not. We are looking at the potential for 2 to 4 inches of rainfall as we go through the weekend. This is by Tuesday. Of course, that could lead to more high water issues. So, of course, we are keeping a close eye on that. It is raining and very windy outside. In the meantime, here's a live look from our camera. You can almost kind of see the wind blowing the trees out there. Temperature-wise, we're at 71 at the airport. More light rain for them, though the further west you are and south you are, kind of the heavier that rain is. We've watched this blob of moisture kind of move in as we've gone through the past couple of hours. Some of the heaviest rain now moving northward from the south out of Monroe and Janesville. Areas to the south and west, some have picked up almost 3 inches of rain so far this morning. But the closer you get to Madison, it's been a little bit less and less as that moisture was slow to move in. But now that it's here, we'll watch the rainfall rates begin to increase, and we'll watch the rainfall accumulate a bit more as well. But here's future Doppler track over the next 3 hours, showing you that the heaviest of that rainfall now moving into the Madison metro. We'll see some lightning and thunder embedded in that as well. In terms of traffic, things do continue to run smoothly this morning. No major issues or delays are showing up across Madison or Dane County.
We just cannot catch a break, can we?
We cannot catch a break. We have several more rain chances than just today.
All right, Chris, thank you. Developing overnight, Madison police are investigating a stabbing at the Red Rock Saloon. It happened just after 1:30 this morning. Police say they were called to the bar on the 300 block of West Johnson Street. They found a victim with a non-life-threatening injury. Police say the victim wasn't aware of how he was stabbed. Anyone with information is asked to call the Madison Police Department or Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Also new overnight, police are investigating a call of shots fired on the 2000 block of Browning Road. Madison police say they were called to the 3500 block before finding casings in the 2000 block. Police tell us there wasn't any damage and no one was hurt, but ask anyone with information to contact them. New this morning, just days after shutting down all of its locations, there are new signs Bon-Ton could be making a comeback. This comes after the more than century-old department store chain declared bankruptcy back in February. The rights to relaunch the retailer and its subsidiary brands are close to being acquired. USA Today reports the reinvented Bon-Ton would be more e-commerce focused, centered around its website. The report shows there are plans to reopen physical locations in several states, including Wisconsin and Illinois. If that happens, services like personal styling will be offered and stores would be open for a shorter time during the week with extended hours from Thursday through Sunday. Former Bon-Ton employees would get first dibs on restaffing those locations. Continuing coverage now on the threat of more flooding. There are chances of rain both this weekend and almost every day across southern Wisconsin next week, so the concerns over flooding on the isthmus are not over. In an effort to keep water levels down on Lake Mendota, city engineers have been opening the Tenney Dam. Mayor Paul Soglin says that may need to continue. This is a live look at the dam this morning. Releasing water from the dam means higher levels in the Yahara and flooding on the Near East Side. Mayor Soglin says roads like East Washington and First Street will likely have lane closures. Part of East Livingston will be closed as well. There are slow, no-wake rules in effect for most of the lakes and rivers in southern Wisconsin this holiday weekend. This includes the Wisconsin River in Columbia County from the Highway 33 bridge in Portage to Lake Wisconsin. The orders are also in place for Swan Lake and the Fox River. In Dane County, Lakes Mendota, Monona, Wabisa, and Kaganza, and in Rock County, the Rock River. As a result of the flooding, many boat launches are also closed around the area. The city of Madison will be extending free overnight parking in area garages through next Friday as parts of the isthmus continue to see flooding. There will be no parking fee for city-owned parking garages between the hours of 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. through September 7th. There are 2 cleanup efforts happening in Middleton this weekend. One is this morning at the Middleton Bike Park starting at 9. Volunteers will focus on repairing the trail system. Workers are asked to bring work gloves. The other event will be tomorrow at the Firefighters Penny Klein Park starting at 10 in the morning. Volunteers there will be cleaning up storm debris and are asked to bring gloves, wheelbarrows, rakes, and shovels. 6 minutes past the hour right now. According to the Wisconsin Emergency Management, there's at least $44 million in damage to public infrastructure so far since the flooding began, and that number is expected to rise. In Sauk County, homes are being sandbagged in Baraboo as the Baraboo River continues to rise. Volunteers spent more than 12 hours filling them up yesterday. The river was expected to crest overnight. An Illinois man has died after falling down some damaged wooden steps at Lake Redstone in Sauk County. The stairs had been heavily damaged during the recent heavy rain and storms. Police say 70-year-old James Sykich fell near a broken section of the stairs. He fell about 20 feet down the hill where he died. Police don't suspect any foul play. Sauk County Emergency Management has put together a disaster relief fund for flood victims. The Greater Sauk Community Foundation will be taking in monetary donations. Officials say there will be no charge for the service, so 100% of the proceeds will go directly toward flood victims. You can donate by visiting greatersauk.org. One other news this morning, road work around Wisconsin has been shut down for the weekend to help out with Labor Day traffic. The DOT says in addition to a lot of cars and trucks, drivers need to be extra cautious because of all the heavy flooding across the state. There are still a number of state highways closed and people are being warned not to drive around barricades or through standing water. At least 7 counties have road closures right now. For the latest traffic information, you can download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. It is free on any phone or tablet. The DOT expects the busiest travel time this weekend will be between noon and 8 p.m. on Monday. There will be extra Dane County deputies out on the roads this weekend, specifically looking for people driving under the influence. 9 additional deputies will be on patrol between 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. as part of the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. There's a special Drive Sober app you can download to help you find a ride on mass transit or taxi. Last year, more than 160 people died in alcohol-related crashes here in Wisconsin. Well, check out this fun news. Next year, Paul McCartney will be performing here in Madison for the first time ever. He will perform June 6th at the Kohl Center as part of his Freshen Up tour. This tour will be McCartney's first outing following his release of the brand new studio album Egypt Station, which will be released this coming Friday. Coming up on 8:09, still ahead on News 3 this morning Saturday. After a soggy week, Mother Nature isn't letting up on southern Wisconsin. Here's a live look over the Capitol this Saturday morning. Another rainy start out there, and Chris is tracking even more rain and that potential flooding in his first alert forecast coming up. Plus, it's the first day of September, and there are several shows and movies you can find some time for this weekend. Will have your 3 things to watch. But first, as we go to break, here's a live look in Washington this morning, where the late Senator John McCain will be laid to rest this weekend. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Our alert weekend continues as we track more heavy rainfall into the area. Flash flood watches are in effect from the lakeshore all the way back to the Mississippi River Valley. That includes us right here in Madison. That flash flood watch, at least for now, goes until 7 o'clock this afternoon. We will see if there are any extensions on that flash flood watch. But we're looking at 2 to 4 inches of rain as we go through Tuesday morning at this time. And of course, that could lead to more flooding. That is why we do have the alert days through the entire weekend. The heaviest rain moving through right now. This is what has come our way out of Iowa this morning. The good news is some of it has lost its intensity, but nonetheless, we are going to be inundated with the rainfall for a little bit. Some of that heavier rain now starting to move northward a little bit into the Madison metro. We're going to continue to track that as we go through the next couple of minutes. Thankfully, it is not severe. There is a stronger line of showers and thunderstorms just off the coast of Sheboygan there and moving off to the east. We won't have to worry about those impacting us. But as we go through the next 2 hours, we'll see more and more of those showers and thunderstorms around the area, gradually making their way on through here. That's where temperatures are also cooler at the moment. We're at 71 here in Madison, 72 for our friends in Janesville. Upper 60s are showing up a little bit more with more of the cloud cover and the rain cooling off the air just a little bit, but we are still seeing those dew points that are well into the 60s and 70s. That's going to keep the moisture around, to keep the rain chances going as we go through the rest of the weekend as a whole. We really could see a decent drink of water, although we really don't need much more water around here. Going all the way through Monday night, we could see anywhere, again, from 2 to 4 inches of rain. So, of course, we're going to be watching this very closely. Some of the other models on the lower end of the spectrum, though, but they are trending upwards, and that's the trend that we don't like to see in terms of the rainfall as we go through the next 3 days. So we're going to be watching that very closely. 70 to 74 as we go through this morning. 78 by the time we get you into the afternoon and evening. More shower and thunderstorm chances do linger as we go through Sunday and Monday, even Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. We'll cool things down back towards the 70s by next weekend. Josh.
All right, Chris, thank you. Quarter past the hour right now in entertainment news this morning. Netflix's The Crown is welcoming a new queen for its upcoming season. We're also getting a look at the new Prince Philip. Tobias Menzies will play the older Duke of Edinburgh, replacing Matt Smith. Meanwhile, fans can expect to find Smith in the new Star Wars film due out next year. That's according to Variety. Star Wars Episode 9 will also feature the late Carrie Fisher from footage shot before her death in 2016. Having been played on the big screen by the likes of Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Ben Affleck, and Chris Pine, CIA analyst Jack Ryan jumps to TV in the new Amazon streaming series Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. John Krasinski from The Office fame now plays the title character. The 8-episode drama out now follows Ryan as he races to uncover potential terrorist attacks before they're carried out. The show has already gotten the green light for the second season. Well, if the rain is keeping you indoors this morning, the good news is there are plenty of great picks for you to enjoy from the comfort of your own couch. Here's Will Loper with your 3 things to watch.
Hey there, Josh. This weekend, check out a stirring documentary, a crime thriller series on Netflix, and a film to celebrate Labor Day weekend.
I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks.
New on home video this week is the documentary RBG.
We welcome today Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The film explores the life and career of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg changed the way the world is for American women.
I became a lawyer when women were not wanted by the legal profession.
Thousands of state and federal laws discriminated on the basis of gender.
RBG is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
I surely would not be in this room today without the determined efforts of men and women who kept dreams alive.
Another man is dead.
People make choices, Wendy. We don't have to live under the weight of those decisions.
At least admit it was good for us.
Now streaming on Netflix is the second season of Ozark.
We know that Marty Bird launders millions of dollars a year for the Navarro cartel.
What we need to know are the details of how he does it.
Jason Bateman and Laura Linney return as the couple caught up in the world of crime and money laundering.
You're a businessman,
Though you died alone.
not a killer.
These people that we work for,
Not me.
we used to think that we were different than them.
All 10 episodes of Ozark Season 2 are streaming on Netflix now.
And you're the one who has always said, people make choices.
Tess, you know, you don't get anywhere in this world by waiting for what you want to come to you. You make it happen. Watch me, Tess. Learn from me.
Finally, celebrate Labor Day weekend by not working and watching others work in 1988's Working Girl.
Broke it. Skiing, and they won't be able to move me for at least a couple of weeks. So this is what I need you to do.
What are plans? Okay.
I know I'm asking an awful lot, Tess, but I don't know what else to do. I need you to take over.
Okay. Bye.
Melanie Griffith stars as Tess, a secretary who steals her boss's identity to finally get ahead in her own career.
I mean, you can bend the rules plenty once you get upstairs, but not while you're trying to get there. And if you're someone like me, you can't get there without bending the rules.
Working Girl is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
You know, maybe I just don't like you.
Me? Nah.
That young Harrison Ford, what a hunk. Well, those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 this morning, Saturday.
8:19 this morning, there was construction chaos heading to and from the Badgers home opener last night. We'll show you why. And the team added onto their streak, now winning 23 straight home openers. News 3 Sports Director Jay Wilson will have the highlights ahead. But first, here's a live look in Washington this morning where funeral services will be getting underway for Senator John McCain. Stay with us. Welcome back at 8:22. The Badgers opened their season big under the lights last night. They extended their winning streaks, winning 34-3. Our Jay Wilson was there and has more from Camp Randall.
As you'd expect, there were some bumps along the way in the Badgers' 34-3 win over Western Kentucky, but you had to be impressed the way the Badgers got over those bumps, especially a lot of those guys who were playing their first collegiate game.
You know, a number of players that we'll be counting on got their first significant snaps, and there's nothing like playing the game, and so it was good for the team to get it going. They kept their poise, and that you appreciate, and because no game's going to go perfect.
It's always a little nerve-wracking getting out there for the first time, but I think the coaches really prepared me, and also my teammates really helped me focus in, and all through the whole week I was kind of mentally preparing for this, and it was awesome to kind of get that.
And that young Badger defense with 7 new starters, you had to be impressed with the way they dealt with things, especially stopping Western Kentucky in the red zone.
We practice red zone, you know, specifically throughout practice, throughout camp. So just being able to translate what we do in practice and those red zone periods we have onto the field is always good.
Definitely trying to take everything in, just like it's practice. So when they call a play, just run it how you run it in practice. Don't try to get the whole game atmosphere into your head. Just think about the assignment and what you have to do. That's one of the biggest things, with these games.
And 2 impressive streaks continue for the Badgers. Their 23rd straight home opening win, and now 40 straight wins against non-conference opponents here at Camp Randall Stadium. With the Badgers, Jay Wilson, News 3 this morning.
And there was a bit of chaos surrounding the home opener. Badger fans heading to and from the game had a harder time in downtown Madison. Monroe Street construction limited traffic to 1 lane going in each direction. Businesses along the street say the traffic wasn't stopping fans from turning out, though. The Monroe Street construction is scheduled for completion shortly before the end of Badger football season. Coming up on 8:25, there's more to come here on News 3 this morning, Saturday. Today's top stories are next, including when you'll want to avoid the road this holiday weekend. And a look back at the life, legacy, and many laughs the late Senator John McCain shared during his 81 years of life. Here's a live look as the American hero will be laid to rest later this morning in front of several former presidents, members of Congress, and fellow Americans. We'll be right back. An American hero will be laid to rest this weekend. Funeral services for the late Senator McCain are set for this morning. How the Maverick is being remembered right now.
This is News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good morning and welcome back to News 3 This Morning, Saturday. It is just about 8:30 on this September 1st. I'm Josh Breiter. Meteorologist Chris Reese is tracking your very rainy holiday weekend forecast coming up. But first, here's what's happening right now. Madison police are investigating an overnight stabbing at the Red Rock Saloon. It happened just after 1:30 this morning. Police say they were called to the bar on the 300 block of West Johnson Street and found a victim with a non-life-threatening injury. They say the victim wasn't aware of how he was stabbed. Anyone with information is asked to call the Madison Police Department or Madison Area Crime Stoppers. There are new signs Bon-Ton could be making a comeback. The more than century-old department store chain declared bankruptcy back in February. The rights to relaunch the retailer and its subsidiary brands are close to being acquired. That's according to a report from USA Today. The reinvented Bon-Ton would reportedly be more e-commerce focused, centering around its website. The USA Today reports there are plans to reopen physical locations in several states, including Wisconsin and Illinois. There will be extra Dane County deputies out on the roads this weekend, specifically looking for people driving under the influence. 9 additional deputies will be on patrol between 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. as part of the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. There's a special Drive Sober app you can download to help you find a ride on mass transit or taxi. Last year, more than 160 people died in alcohol-related crashes here in Wisconsin. Road work around Wisconsin has shut down for the weekend to help out with Labor Day traffic. The DOT says in addition to a lot of vehicles on the roads, drivers need to be extra cautious because of heavy flooding across the state. There are still a number of state highways closed and people are being warned not to drive around barricades or through standing water. At least 7 counties have road closures right now. The DOT expects the busiest driving time this weekend will be between noon and 8 p.m. on Monday. 8:31 right now, and Chris, another soggy weekend. Not good news for pretty much all of us.
It's really not good news. Now, the thankful part of it is that it won't be a complete washout. You will have some dry times this weekend, but we have plenty of rain chances. Some of those could bring some heavy rain, and that's why we have an alert day each and every day going through the weekend due to the potential of flooding, as we see anywhere between 2 and 4 inches of rain between now and Tuesday morning. And of course, given the high water that's already in place, it's certainly not what we need. So we do have flash flood watches for all these counties shaded in the green. That includes us here in Madison. That goes back through Monroe, through Lafayette County over towards Platteville as well. We're going to be watching this as we continue to see some decent rain coming through the area right now. This is a big slug of moisture that came out of Iowa earlier this morning. Thankfully, some of the rainfall rates have died down, but nonetheless, the steady rain is still there. We'll keep that rain around this morning. We'll get a break right around lunchtime, and then we'll have more showers and thunderstorms picking up into, again, the evening and overnight hours. Temperature-wise, we'll top out right around 78 degrees today. Josh?
All right, Chris, thank you. Here's a live look in Washington this morning as Senator John McCain will be laid to rest this weekend. Today, a procession past the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, followed by a funeral service at the Washington National Cathedral. As John McCain's family and friends pay tribute to the senator, CNN's Jeannie Mose remembers McCain in a different way for his sense of humor. She collected some of his many funny moments. Take a look.
He called his campaign bus the Straight Talk Express.
Why are we handing this out?
But a lot of what he expressed was humor, whether it was poking fun at his opponent, then presidential candidate Obama.
Maverick I can do, but Messiah is above my pay grade.
Or getting nabbed on camera playing poker on his phone during a Senate debate.
Occasionally I get a little bored.
Just a year and a half ago, Senator McCain was horsing around like a teenager, making devil ears,
laying out a series of demands.
Behind CNN reporter Manu Raju, McCain then tweeted out the moment, after all these years, revenge, more devil horns behind his fellow senator from Colorado.
Senator John McCain.
And then there were all those SNL appearances, never funnier than when
McCain sings stress. People, memory.
He said Streisand had tried to do his job talking politics, so he decided to try hers.
Papa, can you see me? Pretty annoying, huh?
Barbara wasn't annoyed. After his death, she referenced the SNL act in a tweet and called him a good man, a good senator. He even let SNL joke about his then running mate going rogue.
Available now, we got a bunch of these.
Senator McCain's attempts at humor sometimes blew up on him. Remember this? Senator McCain did when someone asked him about punishing Iran.
That old Beach Boy song, Bomberan, you know, bomb, bomb, bomb.
He made movie and TV cameos playing himself.
Excuse me, I just need to get my coat here.
Could you give me a minute here, please?
He made fun of himself.
I wish the guy would shut up.
No wonder he laughed so easily. He considered himself to be one of...
Are the luckiest people.
Jeannie Mo, CNN, New York.
Former Presidents Bush and Obama will deliver eulogies at Senator McCain's funeral at the senator's personal request. The memorial service will begin at 9 o'clock this morning. We will carry that live right here on WISC-TV 3 following this newscast. The late senator will be buried at the U.S. Naval Academy Cemetery after a ceremony tomorrow. Well, 8:35 right now. If you're heading out on the roads this Labor Day weekend, get ready to pay up. Gas prices are at a near 4-year high. But lucky for us, these high prices aren't expected to stick around. How soon we can see them drop when News 3 This Morning Saturday continues.
Good morning. We do have flash flood watches. Those will go through the remainder of today and into this evening. Before they come down, though, there's a potential for those to be expanded given the rainfall forecast going through the weekend. Speaking of rainfall, we've been tracking that all morning on Doppler track. Some of the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity at the moment. That's going to be from Janesville up through Watertown and the eastern side of Dane County as of now. But we're going to track more of these showers and thunderstorms going through the day. Now, eventually we'll get a break around lunchtime in the action, but then more showers and thunderstorms will pick back up as we go through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures today will top out right around 78 degrees. Josh.
Thanks, Chris. Your time now is 8:39. Gas prices climbed to a 4-year high this summer, but once Americans return from their Labor Day weekend road trips, pulling up to the pump may be less painful on the wallet. Meg Oliver explains.
It's been an expensive summer for drivers.
I've been spending more money on gas than I normally would.
Olin Hugo is also feeling the pinch. He uses his car to make deliveries for work.
It definitely impacts my budget. I definitely have to, spend less, save up for some gas.
A gallon of gas is up 47 cents on average compared to this time last year.
There have been a lot of factors that are making gas prices higher this year. A few of those include supply and demand. Tons of global demand, but not enough supply to keep up with that demand, in addition to volatile crude oil prices.
But Jeanette Castellano from AAA says relief is on the way.
The good news for consumers is gas prices are going to be cheaper this fall. Typically in fall, we do see gas prices drop, and that's because we see demand going down. People are done taking their summer road trips.
Also, refineries are able to switch to a winter blend in September, which is cheaper to produce. In a new report, AAA predicts those factors will help push prices down about 13 cents a gallon in the coming weeks.
I'm looking forward to it. Saves me a lot because I travel a lot.
That'd be great. They need to drop.
An economic crisis in oil-producing Venezuela and sanctions on Iran could hurt future supply and trigger a jump in prices. But right now, experts believe driving is about to get cheaper. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, we've got you covered. From a stage show tackling some real-life topics to the annual event along the Capitol Square that hopefully you've been saving some room for. Your Weekend 608 is just ahead on News 3 This Morning Saturday. But first, happy 3rd birthday to Rosalie and all the other kiddos turning 3 years old today. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Look.
Flash flood watches do remain in effect. Those will go through the rest of the afternoon, all the way from essentially Platteville back towards Sheboygan, Watertown under that flash flood watch. If you live up in Portage, you're under a flash flood watch here in Madison. Really, all of these areas shaded in the green are included in that for the heavy rainfall potential that we will have as we go through Tuesday morning. We've been tracking a lot of that rainfall in and around the area this morning as well, though it's lost some of its intensity, which is good news. But nonetheless, we still have some of the heaviest showers anywhere from Janesville up towards I-94 into Watertown right now. Still some light rain here in Madison. Light to moderate rain going back through Monroe all the way back over towards Platteville. We're going to continue to track those rain chances around as we go through the next couple of hours as well. As we get you towards lunchtime, we'll start to get a break in some of the rainfall action. Temperatures, though, with the clouds and the rain are being held in check, staying at 71 degrees here in Madison right now. Some folks have come up just a little bit, but you still see your temperatures anywhere between the upper 60s and low 70s. We're still seeing dew points around there as well with the moisture that we do have in the air. The best rain chance going through the rest of the afternoon will probably be between Madison and Rockford, Illinois. We'll see some additional rain chances coming back in later on tonight, right along the I-94 corridor. That'll last as we go into Sunday as well, with more rain chances starting out in the north and then working their way back towards the south as well. We'll keep these rain chances around going through the weekend. Well, eventually that adds up. You get a little bit of rain, then you get a little bit more, then you get a little bit more. And when it's all said and done, this model in particular gives us about 3.5 inches of rain. But there's a spread in the models anywhere from a little over an inch all the way upwards to 4 inches of rain as we go through the next 72 hours. So we are keeping a very close eye on this, but this is increasing confidence in the heavy rain chance. Most of these models are above 2 inches of rain. We only have one that is between 1 and 2 inches of rain. So that's something we really have to pay close attention to. 70 to 74 as we get you towards lunchtime. Once we get rid of the rain, those temperatures get to rebound just a little bit this afternoon. That's when we'll top out right around 78 degrees, but there's still the chance of a thunderstorm going through the rest of this afternoon and evening as well. Those rain chances will come staying into the picture going through the next 7 to 10 days as well, with more alert days in our forecast going through Monday, and then eventually we'll see more sunshine towards Friday and Saturday, but still we don't have any extended stretches of dry weather. So if we're staying tropical, let's find Darby in Cuba City here for your pet walk. I don't know if I can see her or not. Maybe she's hiding behind a plant. Who knows?
I think she's trying to hide from that rain. I don't know if those little leaves are enough of an umbrella there for her.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But rain chances staying around this afternoon.
Oh, all right, Chris. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We've been asking you to share our morning with us, and Mona Everett shared this picture with us on Facebook. Kind of a welcome sight on a dreary morning. Thanks for sharing, Mona. What does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it to the Channel 3000 Facebook page. Or you can also go to Instagram or Twitter and use that hashtag MyNews3Morning, and that's how we share our favorites right here on the show. What is the weekend in the 608? And here's a quick look at what's going on around the area. Calling all theater fans, time for a drive out west to Spring Green for the Exit the King standout. Jim Ridge plays a decrepit 400-year-old king. He faces mortality with difficulty, and his minions give contradictory advice. Madison Magazine theater reviewer Aaron Conklin writes that Ridge looks frail and vulnerable as he faces the very same thing we're all going to face at some point. After all of the laughter, he says it's a stark and deeply affecting finish. Exit the King is at American theaters, running now through September 27th. Thousands of people are going to see just how far they can chuck a chunk of manure. The 44th annual Sauk Prairie State Cow Chip Throw-In Festival is happening now in Prairie du Sac. It's a mouthful to say. The current state record throw is 248 feet. That's about the equivalent of Aaron Rodgers throwing an 83-yard Hail Mary. Organizers say you can't wear gloves, but you can lick your hands for a better grip, and suggest you wash your hands between throws. I hope that is a given. About 40,000 people attend the Cow Chip Festival every year. And hopefully you've saved some room for this. I know I have. 80 restaurants, almost 30 beverage stands, and 3 live music stages. It is time for the Taste of Madison on Capitol Square both today and tomorrow. The annual event draws an estimated 250,000 hungry people. The event website reports that recent flooding will not affect the event. Local bands Wheelhouse, Madison Country, and others take their turns playing hard rock and country music throughout the Taste. And as always, you can pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for more ideas of where to go and what to see this weekend. We'll stay with News 3 and Channel 3000 tonight at 6 and 10. And in just a few minutes, we'll carry the CBS News special report from Senator McCain's funeral at 9 o'clock in Washington, D.C. But for showcasing sportsmanship over celebrations, the high school football players winning the game and hearts over what they did after unlikely victory. Thanks for watching News 3 This Morning, Saturday. And as we go to break, here's another live look at the services for Senator John McCain. We'll be right back. Welcome back at 8:53. A win on the field is always cause for celebration, especially when those wins don't come often. This week was the first time one high school team ever defeated the defending state champions.
But instead of celebrating, they decided to do something a little bit different. Justin Holbrook has the story.
As you approach exit 79, leaving Georgia, heading into East Alabama, there are two options, a left toward Lynette and a right toward Valley. But this past Friday, two players, one from each city, found somewhere to meet in the middle.
I saw how upset he was, and I just knew that I needed to go up to him and give him a hug and say he's still the best player around here.
For him to come in and try to keep me up and to let me know to keep my head up, that did a lot for me.
Daniels Valley Rams had just shocked Christian's Lynette Panthers, who won a state title last year. The schools are bitter rivals, but the two players have been friends since kindergarten.
It was the first day of school, and our parents knew each other, so our relationship has just grown since kindergarten.
But don't let the hug fool you.
A lot of competition also, like from wrestling in the pool to
Kickball back in kindergarten. We've always tried to kick more home runs at each other.
all-star baseball, having a competition throughout the week, practicing to see who can hit the most home runs.
And now we're just fighting each other in high school football.
It's always been competition between us.
3 years ago, Christian's dad Clifford took the head coaching job at Lynette, putting a bridge between their friendship.
We talk all the time still. It's not that hard for me, but you'd think it would be because we're rivals and all that kind of stuff. But no matter where you go or anything, you still have friends. No matter what you're doing, rivals, it don't matter.
With a true best friend, like you don't have to talk to him every day for him to know you're still there. So I think he's more than the best friend to me. He's been like my brother since we was young. So it's God and family before anything else. So, and he's like family to me. So it comes before football.
The bond that they have, it'll be lifetime. You know, when they get their families and get married and they have children, they'll still come and visit each other and see each other. And to be honest with you, after that game was over, when I saw that, you know, my mind went immediately to this is what it's all about.
Legendary NFL coach Vince Lombardi once asked, if winning isn't everything, then why do they keep score? Well, Coach, these two friends might just be the answer. Reporting on your side, Justin Holbrook, News 3 Sports.
And thanks for joining us. We're going to send you back to that CBS special report as Senator John McCain is laid to rest.